On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Utter.
Complete, total, or absolute, said, done, or experienced without any exceptions or qualifications, spoken aloud or enunciated very clearly and distinctly, verb, to speak or articulate words, sounds, or a voice.
Examples:
Utter nonsense. Utter a big sigh. The utter chaos of the concert crowd made it seem like a wild animal was in the room.
Pray.
To make a request or petition to a higher power, especially in the form of a respectful or humble request.
Examples:
Pray devoutly. Pray for rain. She closed her eyes and prayed for strength to overcome difficult times.
Stain.
To discolor, defile, or tarnish something. Noun, a discoloration or dirty mark on a surface that is difficult to remove.
Examples:
Stain the carpet. Red wine stain. The allegations of corruption stained her reputation, and she struggled to regain public trust.
Cathedral.
The main Christian church of a bishop's diocese, which is often the largest and most important church in the area.
Examples:
Cathedral school. Cathedral choir. The cathedral's stained glass windows depicted scenes from the Bible.
Kneel.
To rest on someone's knee or knees.
Examples:
Kneel down and worship. Kneel and protest. The players are kneeling during the national anthem.
Congregation.
A group of people assembled, typically in a church or synagogue, for religious worship or other communal purposes, a gathering or collection of people or things in a specific location or context.
Examples:
Speak before a congregation. Religious congregation. The church's youth group organized a retreat for the whole congregation.
Dip.
To put something into a liquid for a short time and take it out again.
Examples:
Dip a pen in ink. Dip a chip in the sauce. Please dip up a bucket full of water from the well.
Holy.
Of or related to a god, divine power, or a particular religion.
Examples:
A holy man. A holy shrine. They gathered to hear the holy teachings of the Guru.
Trace.
To find or discover someone or something that was lost.
Examples:
Trace a telephone call. Trace back to medieval times. Let's trace the origins of some familiar foreign words.
Trinity.
The union of three people, especially the Christian doctrine of the three persons in one Godhead, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Examples:
Trinity doctrine. The Blessed Trinity. The Christian doctrine of the Holy Trinity states that there is one God in three persons.
Droop.
To sink, sag, or hang downward due to weight, exhaustion, or lack of support or vitality.
Examples:
Droop with disappointment. Droop under their own weight. The flowers began to droop in the scorching heat.
Pew.
A long bench or seating area, typically found in churches, designed to accommodate multiple people during religious services.
Examples:
Empty pew. Wooden pew. The church was filled with people sitting on the pews, listening to the sermon.
Befriend.
To become a friend of someone, especially when in need.
Examples:
Befriend a young boy. Befriend other members. I'm willing to befriend the weak and the poor.
Silent.
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
Silent reading. Give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Sin.
The offense against a religious or moral law or against God.
Examples:
Forgive a sin. Sin of omission. Some overzealous environmentalists claim celebrities are committing carbon dioxide sins.
Salvage.
The act of saving or rescuing something from potential loss or destruction. The property or items that are saved or rescued in this way. Verb: to save, recover, or rescue something from a dangerous, damaged, or deteriorating situation.
Examples:
Salvage operation. Salvage a sunken ship. The salvage yard was full of old cars waiting to be scrapped.
Dissolve.
To be or cause to be absorbed by a liquid to form a part of the solution, to close down or dismiss.
Examples:
Dissolve the sugar. Officially dissolved the marriage. The political party dissolved after much internal fighting.
Tongue.
A movable mass of muscle tissue covered with mucous membrane that is in the mouth, a language.
Examples:
Native tongue. Tongue cancer. The tongue is boneless, but it is as strong as bones.
Sham.
Something that is not as good or true as it seems to be and is intended to deceive people. A person who pretends to be something they are not.
Examples:
A sham battle. Turn out to be all sham. The data he prepared was completely sham.
Linger.
To stay in a place or exist longer than expected.
Examples:
Linger in the mind. linger over your work. She lingered for a moment before leaving the room.
Attempt.
An act or effort of trying to do something, especially something difficult.
Examples:
The attempt to rescue the hostages. A reckless attempt. The third attempt was far more successful.
Reintroduce.
To bring back something that has been previously abolished or discontinued.
Examples:
Reintroduce species. Reintroduce capital punishment. The government is planning to reintroduce wolves to the national park to restore the balance of the ecosystem.
Sanctity.
The quality of being sacred, holy, or blessed, the state of being pure, untainted, or inviolable, the ultimate importance or reverence attributed to something.
Examples:
Sanctity of life. Violate the sanctity. The sanctity of human life is a fundamental principle of many religions.
Miracle.
An act or occurrence that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws, and is therefore believed to be caused by God.
Examples:
Miracle person. Economic miracle. The doctor said that her recovery was a miracle.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Snapback.
A type of hat with a flat brim that can be adjusted to snap into place at different angles. Any clothing or accessory that goes out of style, but then comes back into fashion after a period of time.
Examples:
Vintage snapback. Snapback trend. I love wearing snapback hats because they're stylish and comfortable.
Grin.
To smile broadly.
Examples:
Grin from ear to ear. Grin with pleasure. He couldn't help but grin as he remembered the good times.
Credible.
Capable of being trusted or believed.
Examples:
Credible source. A credible story. They didn't have any credible evidence of his innocence.
Mystery.
Something difficult to understand or explain, a secret or enigmatic quality that adds to the fascination or interest of something. A genre of fiction that involves the solution of a crime or a puzzle.
Examples:
Mystery novel. Unsolved mystery. The mystery surrounding the disappearance of the traveler has yet to be solved by authorities.
Anatomy.
The scientific study that deals with the physical structure of humans, animals, or plants.
Examples:
Animal anatomy. Anatomy of a country's collapse. The professor explained the anatomy of the nervous system.
Tightrope.
A rope or wire stretched tightly between 2 points, on which acrobats, tightrope walkers, etc., perform a risky or precarious situation that requires one to balance carefully to avoid falling or failure.
Examples:
Tightrope performer. Tightrope act. The tightrope walker balanced precariously above the crowd.
Awkward.
Making you feel uncomfortable or embarrassed, causing inconvenience or difficulty.
Examples:
An awkward expression. An awkward date. The awkward design of the interface made the operation difficult.
Apologetic.
Feeling or expressing regret, remorse, or sorrow for one's actions, making an apology or expressing an excuse for something.
Examples:
Apologetic tone. Apologetic letter. He was apologetic for being late to the meeting.
Phase.
Any stage in a series of events, change, or development.
Examples:
Enter on the last phase. Two-phase structure. The era of the Industrial Revolution was a crucial phase of history.
Deem.
To consider or decide something in a particular way.
Examples:
Deem socially responsible. Deem wrong or inappropriate. Regarding earthquakes, some commercial buildings were deemed unsafe.
Nostalgia.
A sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past.
Examples:
A warm nostalgia. Nostalgia trip. The ice cream truck sound brought back nostalgia for my childhood.
Shadow.
A dark area or shape cast by an object blocking the passage of light, an area in darkness or shade, a reflected image or copy of something, a person, activity, or influence that follows or accompanies someone or something closely and persistently, often in a secretive or ominous manner.
Examples:
Shadow cast. Shadow puppetry. The tree cast a shadow over the picnic area, providing relief from the sun.
Attitude.
The way you think and feel about someone or something.
Examples:
Attitude toward mistakes. Attitude control. She had the attitude that work was fun.
Heterosexual.
Attracted to individuals of the opposite sex.
Examples:
Heterosexual relationship. Heterosexual marriage. He identified as heterosexual and had never considered being with someone of the same gender.
Childbearing.
The act of giving birth to or bearing a child, or children, often in the context of medical or demographic research or public policy.
Examples:
Childbearing capacity. Childbearing at a later age. Many women delay childbearing until their careers are established.
Swallow.
To make food, drink, pills, etc., pass down your throat into your stomach. Noun, small long-winged songbird noted for swift, graceful flight and the regularity of its migrations.
Examples:
Swallow a handful of pills. A swallowtail. I swallowed my anger and kept quiet.
Insult.
A remark or action that causes offense or disrespect. Verb, to treat, mention, or speak to rudely.
Examples:
An intentional insult. Insult each other. His insult toward her was unacceptable and resulted in his being fired.
Slur.
To speak about someone or something in a way that is insulting, derogatory, or libelous, to damage or smear a person's reputation by making false or defamatory statements.
Examples:
Slur a drink. Slur his reputation. He shouldn't be allowed to slur people based on race or sexuality.
Naturally.
As might be expected, by natural manners.
Examples:
Naturally arising. Naturally regenerated forest. He was naturally gifted.
Closet.
A small room or cabinet with a door used for storing things, especially clothes.
Examples:
Closet full of suits. Walk-in closets. He brushed the suit before hanging it back into the closet.
Permit.
To allow for something to happen or be done. Noun, the act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization.
Examples:
Permit application. Work permit. The teacher will not permit any students to leave the classroom early.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone. To identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Lesbian.
A woman who is attracted romantically and sexually to other women.
Examples:
Lesbian love. Lesbian relationship. The lesbian couple was denied the right to marry due to the conservative laws in their state.
Ken.
Knowledge, perception, understanding, or range of sight. Verb, to be aware of or know.
Examples:
Within my ken. Ken of the person. He had a good ken of the city and could easily find his way around.
Evacuate.
To remove people or things from a place of danger or threat, to leave or abandon a place or situation, often due to fear or risk.
Examples:
Evacuate the building. Evacuate civilians. The town was forced to evacuate due to the hurricane approaching.
Invite.
To ask someone to come or join, to offer an opportunity or possibility for something to happen or take place.
Examples:
Invite guests. Invite criticism. We want to invite you to our annual charity event.
Floorboard.
A long, thin plank of wood used to make a floor in a building, typically laid lengthwise, one overlapping the other.
Examples:
Floorboard creaks. Hardwood floorboard. The floorboard in my bedroom is creaking and needs to be repaired.
Fade.
To vanish, to fade away, to lose color, to lose freshness.
Examples:
Fade away almost completely. Fade in importance. My memory will fade, but my heart will live on.
Echo.
A sound heard after being reflected off a surface, such as a wall or a cliff.
Examples:
The echo of a person's footsteps. Sound echo. A thunderous boom echoed throughout the valley.
Whisper.
To speak very quietly to somebody using the breath rather than the voice so that only those close to you can hear you.
Examples:
Answer in a whisper. The whisper of the leaves. He took me aside and whispered in my ear.
Conversation.
An informal talk between two or more people to exchange their views, ideas, information, etc.
Examples:
Conversation in English. A friendly conversation. Your conversation reflects your thoughts.
Claim.
To assert that something is true, to demand or request something as one's own, to lay legal or moral right to something. Noun, a demand or assertion of a right or something that one believes to be true.
Examples:
Claim responsibility. False claim. He wants to claim ownership of the abandoned property.
Mausoleum.
A large tomb or memorial building housing a burial chamber, typically above ground.
Examples:
Visit a mausoleum. Marble mausoleum. The imperial mausoleum was built to honor the late king.
Casket.
A rectangular container, often made of wood or metal, in which a dead body is placed for burial or cremation.
Examples:
Plain casket. Wooden casket. The funeral director closed the casket and secured it with screws.
Headline.
A heading at the top of a newspaper or magazine story or page.
Examples.
Headline article. Banner headline. The engagement of the two golf players became headline news.
Identity.
The fact of being who or what somebody or something is, the features, emotions, or ideas that distinguish persons from one another.
Examples.
Mistaken identity. Identity as an individual. The terrorist's identity remains unknown.
Spectacle.
Something or someone seen, especially a notable or unusual sight, an optical device consisting of a frame that houses a pair of lenses for correcting defective vision.
Examples.
Pretty spectacle. Spectacle lens. She could not help watching the sad spectacle.
Brutality.
The quality or state of being cruel or savage.
Examples.
Military brutality. Brutality against civilians. The protesters were outraged by the police brutality they witnessed at the demonstration.
Asterisk.
A symbol, asterisk, used in text to indicate a footnote, omission of letters, or a reference to additional information. In sports, a symbol used to indicate a special achievement.
Examples.
Add an asterisk. Annotate with an asterisk. The asterisk on the sign indicated that there were additional terms and conditions.
Flesh.
The soft substance composing the body of a person or animal, as opposed to bones and other structures.
Examples.
Grow in flesh. Flesh eating. The flesh of the fruit is sweet and juicy.
Gender.
The range of characteristics of femininity and masculinity and differentiating between them, especially when considering social and cultural differences rather than differences in biology.
Examples.
Gender-blind policies. Dual gender. Cultural norms strongly influence gender expectations.
Perverse.
Showing a deliberate and stubborn desire to go against what is expected or desired, contrary, willfully disobedient or immoral.
Examples.
Perverse idea. Perverse attitude. His perverse sense of humor made many people uncomfortable.
Ensnare.
To entrap or catch in a snare or trap, to capture or trap someone or something physically, mentally, or emotionally.
Examples.
Ensnare victims. Ensnare a suspect. The spider used its web to ensnare its prey.
Consent.
Permission or agreement to do something, especially given by somebody in authority.
Examples:
consent for surgery, give silent consent. She gave her consent to the company's proposal.
Feast.
A large meal, typically one served on a special occasion.
Examples:
a feast for the eyes, a nightly feast. The royal feast celebrated the harvest, and the community enjoyed it.
Regurgitate.
To bring back partially digested food from the stomach to the mouth. To repeat or recite something without understanding or adding anything new or original.
Examples:
regurgitate food, regurgitate information. The biology student had to regurgitate all the material she had learned for the final exam.
Skeleton. The
structure of bones in a human or animal body, or a framework of bones or other material that supports a plant.
Examples:
the steel skeleton of a building, skeleton hand. Scientists studied the ancient skeleton to learn more about the creature's anatomy.
Attraction.
A sense of like someone, particularly sexually, something that causes individuals' desire to go to a certain area or do a certain activity.
Examples:
big attraction of the event, popular tourist attraction. She felt an instant attraction towards him.
Coffin.
A box or container used to bury a dead body, a case or structure resembling a coffin.
Examples:
coffin lid, wooden coffin. The priest prayed over the coffin before it was lowered into the ground.
Misspell.
To spell incorrectly or wrongly, to use an incorrect spelling for a word.
Examples:
misspell words, misspell his name. Please be careful not to misspell any of the words in your essay.
Grave.
A place where a dead body is buried, typically marked by a headstone or other memorial, a very serious, solemn, or important matter. Verb, to carve, cut, or etch a design, inscription, or mark onto a hard surface, such as stone or metal. Adjective, serious, solemn, or weighty in nature.
Examples:
graven image, grave mistake. Many innocent civilians were killed and buried in mass graves outside the city during the war.
Rot.
To decay, or cause something to decay, naturally and gradually.
Examples:
begin to rot, rot with age. Please refrigerate the meat, or it will rot.
Hallway.
An interior passage or corridor onto which rooms open.
Examples:
the head of a hallway, wax a hallway floor. He dashed down a hallway to a bathroom.
Hashtag.
A word or phrase preceded by the symbol hashtag, used on social media websites and applications to identify messages on a specific topic.
Examples:
Marked with a hashtag. Trending hashtag. Our brand's campaign uses a unique hashtag to track engagement and reach.
Discuss.
To talk about or examine in detail, through conversation or debate, to exchange ideas, opinions, or information on a particular topic.
Examples:
Discuss options. Discuss solutions. We need to discuss the next steps for the project during our meeting tomorrow.
Judgment.
The ability to form valuable opinions and make reasonable decisions.
Examples:
An emotional judgment. Deliver a judgment. Her judgments are consistently rational and sensible.
Oncoming.
Approaching or moving toward a particular person or place, relating to something that is coming toward the observer.
Examples:
Oncoming traffic. Oncoming disaster. The driver had to swerve to avoid an oncoming car that veered into his lane.
Traffic.
The movement of vehicles, people, or goods along a route or through a transport system, the amount of such movement in a particular place or at a particular time.
Examples:
Traffic jam. Heavy traffic. We decided to take a detour to avoid the construction traffic on the main road.
Embrace.
To accept something willingly and enthusiastically. Noun, the act of clasping another person in the arms as in greeting or affection.
Examples:
Embrace an opportunity. A warm embrace. The woods embrace the house.
Transgender.
Relating to or denoting a person whose gender identity does not correspond to that person's biological sex assigned at birth.
Examples:
Transgender person. Transgender rights. Many transgender individuals face discrimination and marginalization in society.
Suicide.
The act of killing yourself intentionally.
Examples:
Commit suicide. Suicide attack. In an economically prosperous country, most male suicide is due to child support problems.
Redundant.
Unnecessarily repetitive or excessive, exceeding what is necessary or essential, characterized by unnecessary repetition or duplication of efforts.
Examples:
Redundant worker. Redundant equipment. The report contained redundant information that could have been eliminated.
Breath.
The air that is taken into and expelled from your lungs. The process of taking into and expelling air from your lungs.
Examples:
Hold your breath. Breath of wind. He bated his breath when talking about this affair.
Stick.
To put something, usually a sharp object, into something, noun, a thin piece of wood or other material.
Examples:
Stick a key in a lock. Fire stick. You stick a bill in the change machine, and the coins pop out.